You can lose 10 years of your life without realizing it ever started. That sounds impossible, but it isn't. Because the moment it begins feels harmless, ordinary, almost boring. A Friday night. You're 19. Nothing planned. A friend says there's a casino nearby. You go. Why not? But here's the strange part. The second you walk in, something shifts. Lights flicker. Machines hum. Chips click. Everything feels alive. Like you've stepped into a different world where money moves faster and time slows down. You sit at a blackjack table. $60 in your pocket. Rules explained in seconds. Hit. Stand. Simple. First hand, loss. Second, loss. Third, you win. And that's when it happens. Not the money. The feeling. That split second before the cards turn, when anything could happen. What happens next changes everything. You play for hours. You leave with $240. For times what you brought in. On the drive home, you replay every moment. Every decision. Every win. It feels earned. Like skill. Like control. But here's the truth no one tells you. Your brain just got introduced to a loop. A loop it will want again. And again. And again. You don't know that yet. You just think you had a good night. But that's not even the craziest part. Because the next time feels even easier. And the time after that feels normal. So here's the question. If it starts this small, how does it end so big? You're 21 now. And this isn't new anymore. It's just something you do. Weekends. Sometimes weekdays. Sometimes with friends. Sometimes alone. But here's the strange part. You think you're in control. You set a budget. $100 per visit. You stick to it. Mostly. And somehow you're up. Over the year, maybe $800 ahead. You even read strategy guides. You play smart. So now a new idea forms. Maybe you're different. Maybe you've figured it out. But this is where it gets weird. The system isn't built for you to win. It's built for you to feel like you can. The house edge doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't rush. It waits. And the longer you play, the more certain the outcome becomes. But you haven't seen that yet. So when someone questions it, it feels like they just don't understand. Your girlfriend says it's a waste. You explain you're winning. She doesn't argue. But she doesn't believe you either. And that's when things shift. Because now it's not just about money. It's about proving something. Proving you're right. So the visits increase. The time stretches. And slowly, what felt like a hobby starts becoming a routine. But here's the real question. If you're winning, why do you keep going back? You're 24. And now, they know your name. That didn't happen all at once. It happened quietly. A few extra visits. A few longer nights. But here's the strange part. The casino starts giving back. Free meals. Free rooms. Rewards. You feel valued. Recognized. Important. But what happens next changes everything. Because those rewards aren't gifts. They're investments. You've been identified. Not as a winner, but as someone who will keep coming back. And you do. Your $100 budget becomes $200. Then $500. Still manageable, you tell yourself. Still under control. But this is where it gets weird. Control doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades. You start staying longer. Playing when you're tired. Winning $300, then losing it back. Telling yourself next time will be different. There's always a next time. And outside the casino, things start slipping. Your relationship ends. She says you're distant. You think she's overreacting. But late at night, driving home alone, you replay every hand, every mistake, every almost. And that's when the trap tightens. Because now you're not chasing money. You're chasing correction, fixing what went wrong. So here's the question. What happens when the need to fix becomes stronger than the need to stop? You're 26, and something has changed. Not suddenly, but completely. One bad night, $800 gone. You feel it, physically. So you go back the next day to fix it. But here's the strange part. You lose again, and that's when it begins. Chasing, not playing, not enjoying. Chasing, getting back to zero. But this is where it gets dangerous. Because chasing rewires how you think. Bigger bets, faster decisions, more risk, less logic. And the deeper you go, the harder it is to stop. You tell yourself you're due. That luck will turn. But here's the truth. It doesn't. Every hand is independent. The past doesn't matter. But your brain refuses to accept that. Because accepting it means one thing. The losses are real. So instead, you keep going. And that's when things get worse. You start lying. At first, small things. Where you were, what you spent. Then bigger ones. Debt builds. Credit cards. Loans. Borrowed money. And here's the twist. You know it's wrong. You understand the math. But you do it anyway. Because now it's not about winning. It's about escaping. So the question becomes, what happens when the only place you feel okay and now is the place not a choice anymore? It's a compulsion. Everything else fades. Work, friends, life. But here's the strange part. You don't even need to win anymore. Just playing is enough. The noise, the motion, the escape. For a moment, nothing else exists. But then you leave, and it all comes crashing back. Debt, stress, reality. And this is where it gets brutal. You finally add it up. $47,000. And somehow, you're still playing. Because in your mind, the only way out is one big win. But that win never comes. Instead, everything collapses. Job gone. Home gone. You sit at a table with your parents and tell them everything. No yelling. No anger. Just silence. And that silence hits harder than anything else. That night, you realize something terrifying. You didn't just lose money. You lost time. A decade. But here's the part no one expects. It doesn't end there. You're 35, sitting in a small room, saying out loud, I haven't gambled in 11 days. And somehow that matters. Days turn into months. Years. Debt disappears. Slowly. Life comes back. Slowly. And one day, you're 42, standing there with everything you thought you lost forever. But here's the final question. If something so small can take everything from you, what else in your life feels harmless, but isn't?